Today's episode is episode 2 of the recruiting show. Episode 1 is at augbbball.com. What's new in the past 2 weeks since the first AugBball recruiting show? First, on the boys' side, it seems most of the action is centered around 3 guys who play way above the rim. 6'9" senior TJ Massenberg. Now TJ's of Shiloh, like I said, in Atlanta, and 6'7" junior Isaiah Kelly of Pace Academy. Both have state championships on their mind, and both have offers from high major Division I colleges. TJ talked about his visit to Middle Tennessee State in a recent interview at augbbball.com. Since then, he has visited Temple, and James Madison will be his final trip in September on an official visit. Isaiah will wait until next fall to take official visits, but the scholarship offer tally now stands at 12, including schools like Wisconsin, Georgia, and my personal favorites are from Harvard, Penn, and Princeton out of the Ivy League. So you can see many more details about Isaiah in Tuesday's On the Recruiting Trail feature at augbbball.com. The third inside player who has attracted the attention of college coaches is Lincoln County 6'7" senior Ahmad Rand. Ahmad has visited South Alabama and Louisiana Tech, and he plans to visit Division II powerhouse Lincoln Memorial. Also, Queen's University, which is ranked number 6 in one preseason poll of the top 10 Division II squads in the nation, is scheduled to stop in Lincolnton any day now to watch Ahmad work out. Okay, so before Will Avery and Darrin Shine join me, I'll give this update about the area's girls recruiting news. Okay, so I talked to Will Avery before the show. Will coaches many of our area's best players on the Georgia Sting's AAU team. He shared news about Sydney Graydon, Greenbrier's 6'2" senior, who recently committed to Augusta University. Coach Nate Teemer's Lady Jaguars reached the Elite 8 round of last season's NCAA Division II tournament. As Will explained during episode 1 of the recruiting show, Augusta University's medical school played a major role in Sydney's decision. Amari Young, the North Augusta's impressive junior, got a scholarship offer from Winthrop, adding to the offers from East Carolina and UNC Wilmington that Will told us about in the first episode of the recruiting show. And Georgia Sting player Olivia Owens, whose Johnson High team should challenge for a 3A state title this season, was offered a scholarship by Iona. Will also shared some interesting news with me before the show about Elena Davis and Daisha Benjamin. Elena took her official visit to Memphis 2 weekends ago. She took in a football game. She posed for a photo with NCAA tournament champion Tubby Smith. And I'm sure she did many other fun things while she was at Memphis. Davis averaged 22 points and 12 rebounds for Cross Creek as a junior, and she has already committed to Memphis University. So that's the best kind of visit when you have all the business taken care of. It can be all pleasure. So Daisha Benjamin, a junior at Westminster, who is coming off a stellar first couple seasons at Laney, where she transferred from, had Georgia Tech in for a home visit 2 weekends ago, and get this, and she will attend, courtesy of the Clemson Women's Hoops program, the hottest football game in the country Saturday between Clemson and Louisville. Laney's Aubriana Bonner, one of 4 dynamite guards who will lead another charge towards another possible Lady Wildcat state title, has received interest from Alabama A&M, per Will. And Aubriana's mother told Will that Morgan State and Lincoln Memorial have also shown interest. Another highly skilled guard, senior Nia Daniels of Cross Creek, has also received attention from Georgia Southern, East Tennessee State, and Seton Hall. Nia's mother emailed augbbball@gmail.com to get me that information. I encourage everybody who has information or something to be shared, hit me up on that email or on all the AUGB ball social media accounts. Now, so I'm going to patch Will in.
What's up, man?
Hey, Will, we're live here. Okay, so Will, the question is, you take this group of players that we have, boys and girls combined, and you compare it to any group over the past 20 years, I'll say. Is this the most heavily recruited group of boys and girls combined that we've seen in quite a while?
I would agree. In some time now, we're getting kids in the last few years. Getting high major kids, we're getting mid major, we're getting kids that go all levels, and we're getting multiple kids, which is great to see. Kids that come to mind: Collier at Laney, Ahmed at Virginia Tech. Frank started at Oklahoma, now at Florida Atlantic. Darrin at Cal. Christian Keelan at Charleston Southern, doing quite well. And, I think that list is going to grow. We already saw Elena Davis commit to Memphis. Deja Benjamin will have her choice, and it's great to see. But it's definitely the best we've seen in the last 20 years. I was looking at the last 20 years, and, the parity was so good, back then. We had, big-time players at several schools. So any night was a great matchup, not just for fans, but a great matchup for college coaches to come in town and watch as well.
Yeah. So, you mentioned Ahmed Hill being at Virginia Tech and Frank Booker starting at Oklahoma, Aaliyah Collier at Clemson, Khadijah Cave at Baylor. That's over the course of at least, I'd say, 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years with those names, and Don Coleman at Cal. So we have players all over the country at major colleges. I think that this group right here is pretty exceptional because you have, in the course of 2 years, you have Elena committed to Memphis. 1 year behind her is Deja Benjamin with interest from Georgia Tech and Alabama so far on the high major side. And then TJ Massenberg, Temple, being a senior. At the junior side, you have Isaiah Kelly with a host of major D1 offers. And then Amani Mayo out of Hepzibah going to Temple. So that's, I think, if I counted right, that's about 5 high major possibilities in a 2-year time frame. And then you have Jasmine Robinson going to Troy, and Destiny Marshall going to College of Charleston, and Aubriana Bonner having an offer from USC Aiken, and Sydney Graydon committing to Augusta University. So I think, that's kind of where I was coming from. There's been a lot of lists on Facebook the last few days of great players coming out of Augusta. But the one that I really like was the Josie Lady Eagles Facebook account put out something about Sharika Wright. And, I was at college during that time. Ashley Brown said Sharika Wright, who in 1998 was Miss Georgia basketball, played at Josie. Ashley Brown said she had the best handles of any girl he's ever seen. Tell me about, this Miss Georgia basketball and what you remember from Miss Wright.
Well, I've known Sharika since we were very young. She's always been a very good basketball player. I didn't get to see that high school year in '98, but even when I was in high school, she was doing real well. She was younger than everybody else, and I knew, once she got the, had the green light and the balls in her hand all the time, she would come into her own and be a very dominant and very good player, and that's exactly what she did. Speaking of Miss Georgia basketball, like we talked about this morning, we've never had a girl, or a boy in our area get that award. She's the only one, so that says a lot about the talent that she had.
I agree. I agree. It's almost mind-blowing to me that Ahmed Hill wasn't named Mr. Georgia basketball. But and we've certainly had, like if you would have stayed here for your senior year, Ashley Brown brought up Ricky Moore being a no-brainer back in the day when he was a senior. So shout out to Miss Wright for being the one person to do it. So Will, thanks for being on. I'm going to do as many of these AUG B-ball sports shows as I can, and so I'll be hitting you up for more wisdom soon.
Okay, man. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to call Darrin Shine to get his opinion.
Hello.
Hey, Darrin, it's Chad Cook. Tell me what you think. We've been passing a lot of stuff around Facebook, lists of great players over the past 20, 30 years. Tell me what you think about this current group of recruits, boys and girls in our area, compared to what we've seen over the years.
Well, with this group here, just with a lot of the younger generation compared to the older generation, I think my opinion is, I think it's a lot of more of, more of giving back to the community, and really the guys that really been on that level, like, William, Avery, myself, and a lot of other guys that's really putting in the time and putting in the effort with these kids, whether giving them, coming up with AAU teams that allow them with the exposure that they're getting, and the training that they're getting. And, I know when I was in high school, I didn't train as much as I see these kids train now. So they, a lot of the kids now just want to get better, and they, everybody they have a dream to play Division I basketball. So that's what they're working towards. So, when they're in the gym every day, they get better. So when they step on the court and competing, whether it's high school or AAU ball, their talent level is being seen. So what I like about it is bringing light to the city of Augusta, and it's going to open doors for the younger generation that's coming along, and these college coaches that is going to be looking at Augusta, Georgia as a high market, but not only boys basketball, but for girls basketball also.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When you put it that way, it made me think, Will coaches the Georgia Sting, does so much with Elena Davis and Daisha Benjamin, and the list goes on. Talked about Sydney Graydon committing to Augusta University today. And
right.
And then you have another girls AAU team who I don't know as much about, but it happens to feature somebody like Amani Mayo, who's going to Temple. And then I see you... Right. Then I see you training Aubriana, and then many of the very good boys around here.
Right.
That's a great point. Now let's back to kind of the amount of people who are being recruited right now. Think back to your career. What year did you graduate? Right around 2000?
I graduated in 2002.
2002.
It wasn't near. Yeah. It wasn't near the amount of kids. When I came out, it was only probably me and Calvin Roman and Eric Marshall. Rest in peace to Eric Marshall. He went to Woke University, and Brandon Wilder. So it was 4 of us at the time that earned Division I scholarships. But compared to my time and now and nowadays and now times, man, I just feel like the kids want it, and I feel like the time that they're putting in and what they're doing on the off season, and it's showing. So if we want to go back to the '90s era, I just think we had athletes back in the day, and those guys' talent was able to, being able to get them exposed just with the type of talent that they had. But I just feel like right now the city is growing. And it's growing into, it's always been a basketball city, but I see a number of positive things in the future from going here on out. And I don't think, I know over the time from 90 to 2002, 2003, it was, from the 90s, it was a hot spot. From 2000, it got a little similar, it stemmed down a little bit. And then a couple of years ago, it's picking back up. So, I just think, the kids, they want it, and they put it out. And that's why I think the results are showing in the community and in the CSRA with the amount of kids that sign with these colleges.
Yeah, I'm glad I asked you about your class because that was a great class when you think about it. You played at Delaware State. The most memorable thing that I remember from your great college career was when you played against Duke, and I got that right, right?
Right.
Yeah, you played against Duke in the first round.
Right.
Played Duke in the first round of the NCAA tournament, and I remember you were, if I'm not mistaken, you were in JJ Redick's shorts the whole game,
Right.
and you guys gave him,
Right.
and you gave him everything they wanted. Calvin Rowland played at Virginia Commonwealth, came out of Hepzibah.
Right.
Pretty sure they played in the big dance. Brandon Wallace.
Yeah, they did a lot.
Yeah, Brandon Wallace played in the league with the Boston Celtics after playing at South Carolina. And then what was the name I missed? You gave me 4 names.
Eric Marshall, man, he ended up having a great career at Augusta University. He ended up passing probably in 2008, man. He had a tragic death, had playing basketball, had a heart attack, and passed out on the court at Warren Road Community Center. But I mean, he lit that conference up, man. If you ever talk to Tony Mitchell, Cornelius Mitchell, he'll tell you. I remember Eric Marshall gave North Carolina 30 points.
Yeah, Eric Marshall was a great player, just a great player. I'm pretty sure he moved here from Hawaii and then went to Greenbrier for a year or two. He was magnificent. Yeah. Now, Darrin, tell everybody real quick, and I'll put it in the notes. When I put this on augbbball.com, is it D Shine Hoop Grind? Is that where people can find you all over social media?
Yeah, D Shine Hoop Grind. That's my Twitter, that's my Instagram, and that's my Facebook page. So you can get in contact with me on there. And it's just a good thing, that I got going on. Just really putting kids through a lot of work. Working with ball handling, shoot, and athleticism. And, it's helping the kids really take their game to another level. And it's, I'm getting kids that this is really what they want to do. It ain't parents forcing them. They call me more than I call them. They want to get in the gym. A lot of kids, they want to work now. They working hard, and that's what I like about it. There's no pressure on them. They're not getting forced. These kids want to get better, and it motivates them. The good thing I like about it motivates these kids when they see their peers sign into a college. Like I remember when Christian and Jeff, those guys signed. And it was a big thing for the youth because a lot of other kids was working hard for that scholarship because that's what they wanted. So they feed off what other kids doing. So it's like a domino effect, man. That's what I like. And so kids working hard for that. They working hard to be able to say, I signed me a scholarship, or I worked hard and was able to gain me a basketball scholarship. And I think Zeph and Christian and other kids, Don Coleman, they are these younger kids' motivation. These kids want to do that also, so they're working hard for that. So that's what I like about it. It's all positive, man.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And everybody, again, that's D Shine Hoop Grind on all the social media. And you're exactly right, Darrin. I see you working with kids as young as maybe 5 or 6, as old as probably 19, 20, 21. Male, female, high major Division I, just learning the game, but the common denominator across all that is everybody's working hard and everybody's getting better. And so keep up the good work, and I'll be trying to have you back on this show as much as I can. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Chad. I appreciate you, brother.
Okay, babe. I appreciate you checking AugBball out, augbbball.com, and at AugBball on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The site's loaded. I've got football on there now, all kinds of recruiting stuff. I'm about to put some NBA and college hoops stuff on there. So like I always say, I'll see you in the gym.